prophecy in Fontaine.
Osmanthus wine to...
Did you hear about the
Today's been a funny day. I was going to go into uni today, and then I woke up and I was like, damn, I wish I didn't do that. So then I didn't. I did some stuff this morning. By stuff, I mean I crowned Hu Tao's skill and normal attack, which is great. I took Huki Shinobu to level 90. I tested her in this little team. And it's pretty damn good, though it is very single target focused. But it was dealing about as much damage as my main Hu Tao team does. Does Hu Tao have more AoE? I'm not sure, as... Right now I'm thinking about how, like, M-Tash said he doesn't like Hyper Bloom. It's just... I disagree with him on that, but... What else?
When the sun's out, babe.
I did a bunch on Star Wars. Why would I talk about that? I still haven't explored this area. I don't know if I'm going to.
The prophecy in Fontaine.
Did you hear?
Oh no. What's
Star Wars did give out 10 free wishes today because it's their anniversary, which is cool. Anyway, here we go right back into, you know, her hangout. I mean, oh god. With our Hyper Bloom team, I'm thinking maybe double Hydro is too much. Maybe. From what I see, typically people seem to say they want double Denver, actually. I don't know. I think if I had Tartaglia as a Hydro... If I had Tartaglia as a DPS, and then Nahida and Yao Yao, maybe? And then Kuki? Maybe that would be better? I would then open up the Hu Tao team for the other side as well.
Now behave and follow me.
It's as simple as we get Raddening.
Is everything really over? I still feel like the relationship between Pierre and Bernard is not as simple as it appears. Also, I've had this strange sense that something's off the entire time we've been on the case. And it has only gotten worse. No good. I've still got nothing, and I'm nearly out of energy. Alright, I'll stop thinking about it for now. At the very least, we've made it so that no more animals will suffer like those poor animals did. And that's what I hope. Let's go to the Humane Society and see if there are any animals left that might still need our help before my energy for today completely runs out.
Yay, better than that was fast. Okay. This rat's going to be doing the thing which she wanted to avoid, isn't it? feel like Honkai Star Rail is really bad at promoting their live streams, because I have missed every single one, and I haven't even been trying to. I've been trying to keep up with them, but I've missed every single one. I think they just don't fucking advertise them or something. I don't know. Or I just never hear about them until they're already over. The Banner's next action Star Rail seems fucking awful.
Was I using it wrong?
I'm not going to skip this one.
Maybe if I just...
Yeah, next faction Star Rail seems pretty dead, banner-wise at least. Story, it seems like it'll be the end of Pentecost.
Clearly, there's some design flaws to iron out.
Ugh.
I'll have to let Fremine know. Let's see... Which card did I get? 4. Well, the cards fell on the ground though, so I don't think it counts as fate. If you want to get the right answer, you have to let fate decide. Also something Linny said. So, to put it another way, if picking a card up off the ground is how to not leave it to fate, then that means it must be the wrong answer. Or... Why don't you pick a card? Since I ran into you here, that means... our fates are, like, interfering with each other. Thank you. This one is final, I promise. Here, take the Fateometer. If it's 5 or above, that means fate successfully changed. Anything lower than 5 is a fail. Also, if you have your own thoughts about what I should do, feel free to share it. Now that I've got a good problem solver here to help, I don't need to run every little thing by fate. Back to the drinks reception. Nope, I said it was your decision. I'm not gonna waste any more energy dragging my feet. Besides, the drinks reception is technically part of the job as an official publicity event. So, if I bail on it, I might get sued for breach of contract, and that would be a huge pain in the butt. One other thing. Do you want to come with me? If you're free, I mean. Thanks.
There you are, Lynette! Where did you disappear to? Leone and I have been looking everywhere for you. Wait, where did you get the cat?
I found her outside. Do either of you happen to recognize her?
I don't think so. Could belong to one of the guests, I suppose.
Fair enough. That was a long shot.
So sorry we couldn't help you, Lynette.
Don't worry. We'll ask around for you. Leone's probably just being forgetful.
Maybe you could leave her with us. We'll take her to the reception desk and see if they know anything. And if not, we'll just keep looking.
Why do you sound like Nahida?
Sure. I would help, but I'm a little preoccupied. Sorry to dump this on you.
It's no trouble at all. We're happy to help however we can.
Also, if it's no trouble, I mean, could we maybe get an autograph? And maybe a photo too?
Leone! You can't spring that on her now. Not while she's working. At least wait until the event's finished. One last thing, Lynette. Director Mariu's looking for you. We'll take the cat to the front desk now. See you later.
I'm not usually required at these kinds of events, so I don't even have an event mode. Alright, guess I'd better go see the director.
Spectacular choreography, a masterpiece of mise-en-scène, and the performance, oh my, groundbreaking, dripping with, je ne sais quoi. My congratulations on another magnificent show, sir.
Yes. I, for one, was particularly captivated by the clearly allegorical narrative undertones. The Lost Puppet shines a spotlight on the impact of technological advances in our modern society, particularly as they relate to changing modes of emotional expression and the challenge of mutual intelligibility.
I was halfway through it, I was gonna say, "Oh, sharp, you pretentious fuckwit." First of all, I think that's a bit mean, but also secondly, there's a layer of irony in it being Genshin Impact mentioning that theme, because Genshin Impact has a lot of brain rot.
Such a pioneering work, so far ahead of its
Honestly,
time.
it feels like Genshin
A
Impact is
tour de force
relying
of
on brain rot
avant-garde
now for
theater.
people to not be fucking
I can
furious.
already see the headlines of
But it's been
tomorrow's
over a
newspapers.
year
They will certainly be singing your praise,
since.
Director Mariu.
Oh, that was my dad busting in. What was I saying? Shenhe has only ever had 2 banners, and she released like halfway through Inazuma, I think. Which is just wow. Poor fucking Shenhe. I've been complaining about Nilu, but poor Shenhe fans. The thing is, for Shenhe, I can understand, kind of, because Shenhe's the single most niche unit in the entire game. But Nilu isn't. Nilu's actually like a pretty damn good character. Nilu, it is astonishing how much team variety and how good of a how high value a pool Nilu is, despite being restricted to only Hydro and Dendro characters. Is amazing actually. I think she's recognised as like a really good character for new players as well. I mean, you get a my dad's getting mental. You get Dendro Traveler and Collei for free in the game. And it's not hard to get one Hydro unit other than Nilu. So it's an extremely accessible team because anyone can make it. Anyone can. So Nilu's actually a really good addition to a game. I can understand why Shenhe would only get 1 run a year because she's literally a cryo support for 2 DPSs. One of which is like one of the most niche DPSs in the game, if not the most niche DPS in the game, and the second one is a very recently released character. So
But it was a group effort, of course. To convey emotions in a silent show with no facial expressions, the entire cast had to go above and beyond. Everyone...
Speaking of the cast, Jillian, another strong performance from you in director Mariu's latest show, as of course...
That's quite an overstatement.
On that point, you stated a few months ago in an interview that you were looking to secure a lead.
We had a discussion about this, and while Lynette hadn't previously performed in an acting role, we were blown away by her talent, and she was a perfect fit for this character. Quite simply, this was the role she was born to play.
Exactly. I was honored to share the stage with her. Lynette worked extremely hard and...
Oh, Lynette's back!
Hey, Lynette, where have you been?
Were you in standby mode? Some reports say you switched to that state to recharge after a show.
Ah, method acting, of course. Such a compelling portrayal of a mechanical puppet could only be achieved by an actor who lives and breathes their role even while offstage.
Those seemingly stilted movements were in fact an inspired portrayal of the character. The ostensibly bad acting, in reality, was the product of supreme acting skill.
oh dear.
Oh, I went outside and there was this cat there, so I played with the cat for a bit.
A cat? We've long heard that you are a kind soul, as well as an incredible actress. No wonder your debut performance has garnered such popularity.
This show looks on track to break box office records for avant-garde theater. Lynette, any words for the fans?
Not really, no.
I believe Lynette is trying to say that the act of performance itself is the actor's true means of connecting with their fans.
Oh, I see. Lynette, any comments?
Right, exactly.
But don't you want the fans to know how you're feeling right now, after the hugely successful opening of your first ever show?
That's true.
I'm sure the fans would love to learn a bit more about you, too.
How interesting.
Lynette, how do you find acting compares with performing in a magic show?
What does the future hold for you, Lynette?
Yeah, it's just... Turns out I can't cope with this stuff even in tea party mode. It's a power-saving mode for participating in conversation at tea parties. Normally, I can get through an entire conversation just with, Oh, that's true. And how interesting. But at a tea party, I'm not normally subjected to a constant stream of questions. The energy consumption of that interview just now was 3 times as much as the average tea party. I think I'd rather pray that I never have to do it again.
Lynette, Director Mariu would like you to join the group photo to commemorate the successful opening of the show.
A group photo?
It's just the members of the troupe, along with Maloney and Corentin. Everyone's waiting for you.
Alright then. See you in a minute.
3, 2, 1, smile.
My thanks to each and every one of you here for your help in making The Lost Puppet a success. The group photo is already... You can collect your copy from the first floor after the drinks reception concludes. May it serve as a reminder of this...
Mariu! Get over here. Let's have another drink. There's a few things I need...
I thought the group photo was the final hurdle. Well, at least there's no more people hounding me with questions. I just need to find somewhere to switch to standby mode, and the time will fly by. I hope. de Bour's Île Flottante is as wonderfully sweet as ever.
This was unexpected. There've been so many characters in this quest.
Traveler? Lynette? Oh, wait, hold on. What do you mean, managed to get an invite? I'm an expert in the dramatic arts. Of course I was invited. Naturally, people wanted to hear my comments on the emerging art form that is the masked mime show. Remarkable, and a very worthwhile artistic endeavor, exploring a character with no lines or facial expressions who can only communicate how they feel through their movement. Your performance was beyond anything I could have imagined, Lynette. Clearly, this was a very suitable role for you indeed. Is something wrong?
No, it's nothing. Please go on.
Oh, basically, I think I'd give it a positive review overall, just not as gushing as the crowd downstairs.
So, you thought they were pretty over the top too?
In fairness, it's normal to bring along some vocal supporters for publicity when a new show opens, but still, this was something else. Then again, I'm no specialist in avant-garde theater. Maybe I'm just not well acquainted with their review criteria. Or maybe it's because I came to the show with some preconceived expectations. I did happen to see the original draft of Mariu's script a while back.
What original draft?
Oh? He didn't show it to you? It must have been a few months ago. He came to me to get some advice from an experienced performer's perspective, and then asked if I could write a few reviews of his new play. I had a lot on my plate at the time, so I had to turn him down. I only skimmed a few sections, but they seemed quite different from the final version. I can't say I remember the plot, but I don't know. The protagonist just seemed more complex, I guess. Especially in the last two scenes. Still a mechanical puppet on the outside, of course, but she seemed to have more emotional depth on the inside.
Emotional depth?
Oh, I'm just thinking aloud here. Don't take it to heart. Besides, a script and a play are two very different beasts. There are so many fine details to consider when turning a story into a stage production. More than most people could imagine. Especially with a novel art form like a masked mime show. I'm sure Mariu had his reasons for the changes he made. Change of topic. I see you've escaped the crowds to seek refuge on the second floor. Fame can be overwhelming at first, can't it? Perhaps you'd benefit from hearing about the experiences of a veteran celebrity such as myself.
No thanks, I'm good. Pretty sure this will be my first and last time in this situation.
Hey, at least let me finish. I have top tips on dealing with belligerent reporters, slipping away to hunt down snacks during the intermission.
Tell me everything.
First, take a seat, mon ami. We must partake of Hotel de Bour's fine desserts as we talk, lest they go to waste.
That was very educational. I expect most of the people downstairs have left by now. Time to grab my copy of the group photo and get home.
If you want to,
The photo must be in this envelope right here. It's finally over. Thank you for sticking around for so long. If it wasn't for you, I don't know how I would have standby moded my way through the last few hours. It's fine. It's just... It was such a minor thing. While I was on stage, there was a moment when I felt like someone was looking at me. It was only for an instant, and I didn't even see who it was. But somehow, I knew it was a look of contempt. I got a vague sense of it again during the reception. Like someone was giving me an evil stare. But I couldn't figure out who it was. Normally, I'm used to lurking in the shadows on the stage and spying on other people. So, it was strange, feeling like I was the one being spied on this time. Or someone just took a disliking to me for no real reason. Sometimes you can like one person and dislike another for equally pointless reasons. Anyway, it was just a momentary stink eye, that's all. Nothing for you to worry about. Okay, problem solved. I'm gonna take this envelope and go home now. You have destroyed this work of art. Step down from the leading role at once. Based on the tone, I'd say threat letter is right. I don't think we're gonna find any more clues here. Yes, let's. Whatever destroyed means, it could have something to do with the original script that Farina mentioned. Also, I'm gonna have to ask you to stick around a while longer.
I can't believe how well the whole Lynette's debut acting role thing worked out. Even the avant-garde box office is lapping it up.
How could I ever have doubted you? If you hadn't stuck to your guns and kept sending those invitations.
See? I told you. All the times she'd refused in the past were all the more reason to keep inviting. Can you imagine if you'd gone with Jillian? You'd have been lucky to get half the ticket sales you've ended up with.
True. Well, Jillian...
Do you have a moment, Director Mario?
If it isn't the star of the show. I'm guessing you're here to discuss the show with the director? Oh, you're a talented and hardworking actress, Lynette. It's no wonder you're getting such rave reviews. I'll leave you artists to discuss your work in peace. Mariu, make sure you give your star performer and her friend your full attention.
I certainly will. Lynette carries the fortunes of our entire troupe on her shoulders.
Mr. Maloney. An investor or something, I think. I've never asked him.
So, what can I do for the two of you? I'm afraid I'll have to dash soon as I'm meeting some friends from the newspaper. Otherwise, I'd love to stay longer.
We heard that the original script for The Lost Puppet was quite different from the final show. I'm kind of curious to know what the protagonist was like in that version.
Oh, well, this is a surprise. It's not uncommon for scripts to undergo major changes as they're being brought to the stage. But I'm afraid there's not much to tell you in this case. A mechanical puppet with a bumbling body but a sensitive soul. A stranger in time who doesn't belong. There's no doubt about it. You are the protagonist, and the protagonist is you.
Sorry, you've lost me. Can you put it in plain words?
All right, then. Delving, you shouldn't give your attention to early drafts of the script, Lynette. All it would do is... The current script is the final version because it is the best version, and your performance best brings that script to life. Why, if it weren't for you, I doubt any audience would give our show the time of day. What letter? Oh my goodness! Destroyed this work of art? Really?
Well, Director Mariyu, any idea who might have written it?
No. Who on earth would write such nonsense? Absolutely not. Without Lynette, this show would be over. Everyone's hard work would go to waste. No, there's no way that this is someone from the troupe.
Yeah, maybe Jillian could fill in for me for a while.
What? No way, out of the question. The protagonist has to be played by Lynette. Jillian can't... She's just not what the audience is looking for. Ah, I've got it. It's a competitor. Yes, this... You can't lie low. That's just what they want you to do. The moment you step back...
A competitor? Really?
Definitely. Those lowlifes. Slander and libel are all their specialties. They drown out the truth with a flood of misinformation. There's so many of them out there. Fame always seems to attract haters, no matter what you do to try and keep everyone happy. But don't worry, I will get to the bottom of this. Stay strong, Lynette, and keep up the good work on stage. I have to go and meet my friends from the newspapers now, but rest assured, I'll be discussing countermeasures with them.
So, a competitor, huh? I kinda doubt it. We've dealt with those types before. Usually their goal is to steal our venue for their own show, or to cover up a scandal by planting a story to divert public attention. But at the moment, I don't think anyone's got a reason to do any of that stuff. Let alone pull a stunt like this. A threat letter is quite extreme. Besides, when I felt that evil stare, I'm pretty sure it was coming from somewhere backstage. So that rules out a lot of people. I'm actually more concerned about Mariyu. When I mentioned Jillian, his reaction was pretty unusual. Especially since Maloney mentioned that the initial plan was to cast Jillian as the lead. Sounds like there was an original protagonist as well as an original script. I should probably go talk to her. Yep, she told me she lives in the Flow of Sandra.
Take it easy.
Lynette? What are you doing? You're not welcome here.
I've been to the Fleuve Sandra plenty of times before. This is the first I'm hearing about me not being welcome.
Things are different around here. You might be used to a crowd of bootlicking morons fawning over you wherever you go, but not down here. We know what you are.
Bootlicking morons? I don't know. I've never met this kid before.
Gina, stop that! Go home now!
Jillian!
No buts. How many times do I have to tell you? That had nothing to do with Lynette. If you don't leave right now, I swear I'll never invite you to one of my shows ever again!
Jillian! Just because Lady Farina speaks highly of you, it doesn't mean you're all that!
I'm so sorry. Gina's always been a strong-willed child. That's why I never let her visit me at work.
It's okay. I have younger siblings too, so I get it. She's in her rebellious phase, huh? If you let angsty kids get you riled up, they'll drain all your energy. So don't worry, I won't let it get to me.
Well, the situation's a little different in this case, but still, thank you. So, what brings you to the Fleuve Sandra?
We heard about it from Maloney. He said you were originally supposed to play the lead.
Maloney, huh? Of course he couldn't keep his mouth shut. I'm sorry. I never mentioned it because Director Mariu was very clear that I mustn't let any of it affect you. What's this? I don't know, who would do something like this?
Don't be scared, Jillian. Just tell us what you know.
Okay, I'll try. It's true. I was originally cast as the lead in The Lost Puppet. I've worked with director Mariu many times before, but only in minor roles. The audiences and critics never had much to say about me. Nothing terrible. A few months ago, Mariu started working on a new show, so I plucked up the curtain. He was hesitant, but he agreed to let me try for the part.
There's been a change of plan, Jillian.
Lynette? But she always turns these things down, doesn't she?
And that's why we cannot afford to waste this opportunity. Jillian, I understand how you must be feeling. But Maloney and myself have to do what's best next time. The lead will be yours. I promise.
I was incredibly disappointed at first, but I also know full well that I don't have Lynette's star power. Without Lynette, how could we ever convince people to pay money to go and see a masked mime show? And if the show was a flop with me in the leading role, how would I answer to the director and the rest of the cast? Then, I got to meet you on stage and found that you're really down to earth, in a way that not many celebrities are. You were kind to everyone, and your performance wasn't bad. Whatever disappointment I had left at that point, I certainly wasn't about to take it out on you.
By wasn't bad, you mean it wasn't great either. So, I'm guessing Mariu changed the script to simplify the protagonist, make her a dumbed-down version of the mechanical puppet that I could actually play.
He did make some changes to the script, yes. Jaik, one of the other actors. He likes to collect Dr. Mariu's old drafts because he hopes to be a director himself one day. He also lives nearby. I can arrange for you to meet him at the tavern.
Makes sense. I always see him talking to Mariu. Alright, see you at the tavern then.
Sorry to keep you waiting.
Jillian brought me up to speed on the situation. I'm here to help however I can. Here, this is the script you're after. That's always the way with pen and paper drafts. Even the final script is full of last-minute changes by the director.
There should be a cleaner copy of the original script in here somewhere. Sorry, it's all a bit mixed up. I just grabbed the whole stack of paper since I was in a rush.
No problem. Now activating search mode. I'll go through one page at a time.
Surprise! This is way more fun than I thought.
The protagonist returns to the ruins where she began and performs a dance in honor of her deceased companions. She dances until her joints have rusted stiff and mechanical parts are falling from her body. Yep, that's not something a novice could hope to pull off after just a few months of rehearsals. Frankly, I think that the original script is much better, and the original lead is the best fit. Jillian, shall I go tell Mariu to put you back in the leading role?
What? Are you serious? But the next show is at the Opera Epiclese. It's such a huge opportunity.
But not such a rare one for me, though, right?
That's different. This isn't you as part of a magic duo. It's a chance to star as the main character in a show. You'll reach whole new heights of fame.
Fame in small doses has its perks, but too much and I'll get overloaded. But if you play the lead, the fame will be yours, and I get to be free. Sounds like a win-win, don't you think?
It'll never work. There's no way Director Mariu or Maloney would ever agree to it. The set for Act 4 would need to change, as would all the marketing materials. And that would mean asking Maloney for a lot more Mora. Changing actors at the last minute is just too risky. If anything went wrong, it could bankrupt the whole troupe. Plus, Maloney's friends have already published a ton of articles saying how this is the role that Lynette was born to play. No one else can play the protagonist now. If Lynette quit the show and I took her place... If Lynette left, they'd sooner stop the whole show than let me take her place.
Stop the whole show? But all the people in the troupe, months and months of everyone's hard work would all be for nothing.
You do? What is it? That's a bold plan. I'm in.
You know, it's a little crazy, but it might actually work.
No way! It's not worth taking such a huge risk just for a chance to be in the spotlight.
Jillian, you said before, whatever disappointment I had left, I wasn't about to take out on you. In other words, that disappointment is still there, but you've kept it bottled up inside. Be honest. You still hope to play the leading role, don't you?
But the thought of putting so many people out just for my sake?
You think they'd be put out? That's not how I see it.
Jillian, you were more dedicated than anyone during the rehearsals for the original script. We all saw how hard you worked for this role. And I think you know that unless we decide to make a stand here, the path we're on is only going to take us further and further from our dreams, all of us. So take it from me. You would not be putting us out. Not one bit.
You guys... Okay. Let's do it. I will play my part.
Yes! I knew you'd come around. All right, I'll let the rest of the troop know and we'll start...
Wonderful. This solves everything.
Wait, but what about the threat letter? Do you have any idea who sent it?
As long as we stick to the plan, I'll give up the lead role, so it won't matter anymore, right?
But surely you want to know who it's from. If they're out there and no one's keeping an eye on them, what if they come looking for you?
I doubt they will. It's supposed to be a threat, but they didn't even say what would happen if I don't meet their demands. Plus, the handwriting is kinda childish. Doesn't look like a professional intimidator to me. Who knows? Maybe it was just a fan of yours having a moment.
A fan? Of me?
Maybe there's someone out there who really appreciates your talent. Even in the supporting roles. It's getting late. We should be leaving. Come on. Sorry for manhandling you. You looked like you were seconds away from figuring out who sent the letter, so I had to act fast. It was Gina, Jillian's sister.
Just because Lady Farina's...
I'm so sorry. Gina's always been a strong-willed child.
I guess she must have snuck into the drinks reception and overheard our conversation with Farina. She idolizes Jillian, both as an older sister and an actress. And she watched as the dream role Jillian had been waiting to play for so long got snatched away from her by some amateur who's never acted before. To make matters worse, all the critics were hailing this amateur as a perfect fit for the role. And even Fontaine's former biggest star was praising her abilities. Yeah, that pretty much sums it up. Like I said, getting angry at angsty teenagers is draining. Besides, if it was my younger brother or sister and they found out I'd been treated unfairly or had an opportunity stolen from me, they'd definitely do something far worse. I was in Jillian's position once. Back when Linny and I were starting out, before we got famous, we just had to take things a day at a time. Doing our shows, slowly trying to build up our reputation. So I can understand Gina's frustration. Still, she could definitely use some pro tips on how to write a threat letter. No, the way she looks at me is indignant, frustrated, but not malicious. Plus, she didn't even try to hide how she felt. Whoever was giving me that evil stare was backstage. Blending into the crowd at a drinks reception is one thing, but trying to blend in backstage, where everyone's on high alert waiting to be called on stage, would be a lot more difficult. We'll find out who it is before too long. In 2 days' time, at the next show, I think it will become very clear. On that note, guess I'll see you at the Opera House. Bye for now.
you're here. Lynette and Jillian are busy getting ready, so please come with me.
That puppet in the middle, is that Lynette? She's so pretty.
It's starting. Keep your voice down.
Wow, I thought it would be hard to follow, but in the end it was actually very clear.
Even though her face was expressionless and she didn't speak the whole time, I felt like I could really understand how the protagonist was feeling.
Director Meryu really is a master of his craft. And so is the actress in the lead role.
I have a friend who saw the show on the opening day. They thought the critics overstated how good it was, but I gotta say, the protagonist is incredible.
I can't believe it's only been a few days since the last show. Lynette's improved so much. Just wow! I'm speechless. Words simply cannot do justice to the sheer excellence we witnessed from Lynette.
Your penchant for the hyperbolic strikes again, Almery. Clearly you weren't at a loss for words when you were writing your article. I saw you hand it to the journalist. Trying to get your critique into the papers the moment the show is over, are you?
Well, you know how it is. The early critics get all the readers. Wouldn't you agree, Meryu?
What's the matter? Cat got your tongue? The first half was a huge success. Even I could tell.
My apologies, Mr. Maloney. Please excuse me for...
Very well. Hey, while you're at it, this might be a good...
Are you guys sure this is gonna work? What if Director Meryu pushes back? We're already halfway there. We can't back out now. All we need to do is stick to the plan.
What is this plan that you're so intent on hiding from me,
Director Meryu! I thought you were talking to Maloney and the critics.
Korantan and Armory have both finished their articles. I went to greet them as a mere formality, but you seem to have availed yourselves of my absence during the first half to defy me. Was that really Lynette playing the lead role?
Ta-da!
Director Meryu? I was the one playing the lead role just now.
I switched costumes and masks with Jillian so that I could be the protagonist's companion and stay out of the limelight.
Lynette, why on earth would you do this?
You know my acting is amateur. The only reason I'm being seen as a pro, let alone a pioneer, is because you have critics supporting the show. If they'd seen me in the leading role during the first half, they wouldn't be expecting anything more. But what happens now that they've seen Jillian in the role? If you force me to play the lead in the second half, they'll be wondering, why is the actress suddenly giving such an underwhelming performance right at the climax of the whole story? These are just some of the questions that will be on everyone's minds during the second half. And those questions will follow them out the doors of the theater after the show ends. There's only one way for you to save your reputation. And that's to keep Jillian as the lead all the way to the end.
Absolutely not. I'd sooner announce that we're having technical difficulties and need to stop the show. If I keep Jillian as the lead for the second half, what do you think will happen in the curtain call when she takes her mask off? Everyone will see that we've changed actors. What will your fans think? They're only here because of you. And what about all the critics who support you? If we get on the wrong side of them, it'll be the death of the whole show. There'd be tickets to refund, fines to pay for breach of contract. The whole troupe's hard work would go down the drain. Don't you see how much this would cost us? You can't just take a job on a whim, then abandon your responsibility the moment you don't feel like doing it anymore. You're playing games with other people's hopes and dreams.
I think he has a bit of a point.
Director Meryu, please. You're not being fair to Lynette.
Actually, Jillian, he's half right. I did kind of take this on a whim. But my responsibility here is making sure you get back the role that belongs to you.
And I guess part of that responsibility lies with me, considering I badgered you into accepting the job.
I'm glad Linny took a break from investigating to do this.
Sorry I'm a little late to the show. Work's been keeping me pretty busy lately.
Linny? What do you want? Do you think you can snap your fingers and make all my problems magically disappear?
That might be a little tricky, but instead, I could make something else magically appear.
What's this?
A draft complaint letter, my contract, your legal fees, reimbursement for the tickets, and an advance on the penalty fee for breach of contract. Mr. Mariyu, I'm stepping down from the leading role, regardless of whether you choose to cancel the rest of today's show.
If you do suffer unforeseen financial losses from this, you're free to seek damages as per the contract. And if you want to file a lawsuit, there's a draft here that you can use if you need it.
What? I can't believe this. You're literally handing me a lawsuit against you with a straight face. Of course. All this Mora, it's a pittance to you, isn't it? Must be nice to have the luxury of prior success and fame. Look at us. We're huge stars. One minute we want to go on stage. The next we feel like backing out of the contract. But that's okay. We're famous. We can afford it. You have no respect for other people's work. You're treating other people's hopes and dreams like a big joke. You don't give a hoot how much this show means to other people. You don't even care that the whole production might have to shut down because of you.
That's not true. I do care. And I'm under no illusion as to how much this show means to you.
Oh, brilliant deduction there. Of course it means a lot to me. This is my show. That's the only reason I asked you to be in it in the first place.
Really? Then why do your eyes tell a different story? The way you look at me, it's full of contempt. Almost as if I've destroyed your work of art.
What? I would never think that.
A couple days ago, I asked some associates to do some digging for me. I was interested to know who else you invited to play the lead apart from Lynette. Surprise, surprise. Turns out that all the other famous actresses you asked either had prior commitments or weren't a good fit for the role. They all turned you down.
And I would have turned you down too, if not for an unlikely set of coincidences.
You didn't send those invitations because you were looking for a better actress than Jillian, but because your investor wanted a big name in your show, right?
Director Mariyu.
To get Maloney on your side, you chose to make Jillian the understudy, and then look for an opportunity for her to take the lead.
I bet you were torn at first, weren't you? Do you stick to the tried and tested formula? Choose Lynette, use her celebrity to get the critics on your side so that you and your investors can line your pockets?
Or do you choose Jillian, so that you and your longtime collaborator can stage the show of your dreams, the original, unedited version of The Lost Puppet?
Oh, I didn't betray myself.
You mentioned prior success and fame earlier, but you're a well-known director yourself, with countless works to your name. Wouldn't that make you successful too? Or maybe, deep down, none of your current achievements really count as success to you.
Right now, you have an opportunity to send Jillian onto that stage and perform the second half as you always imagined it, faithful to your original script. Your work would be displayed for all of Fontaine to see, in its true, perfect form.
Did you say perfect?
Or Will you act now before Maloney and the critics can protest and make your dream come true on the stage? And Jillian's dream. In fact, the dreams of the whole troupe.
The whole troupe?
Director Mariyu? Actually, most of the money Lenny brought came from us. We all chipped in.
We've worked with you for many years now. Your troupe has been here for you all the way from the empty theaters where we first performed to the Opera House today. We watched as you slowly started down a path you used to despise. The path of powerful connections, drinks receptions, backdoor deals with critics, and collaborations based on fame instead of talent.
But this is just a temporary measure. I did it for the good of the troupe. And besides, this is how the whole industry works. Everyone else is doing it.
Yes, we know. Back when you started, you had to bite the bullet and do these things to keep the troupe afloat. But then what happened? You began to embrace these methods more and more, becoming so reliant on them that every show you put out is overhyped by the media, and every script you write is edited to suit some celebrity's needs. Surely you must have noticed what's happening. While we've been performing at bigger and bigger theaters with each show, the applause is getting quieter and quieter each night. And the criticism from people who've seen the show is growing. Maloney's friends are sycophants. They don't care if the audience is disappointed because the show doesn't live up to their glowing reviews. They praise the things they like and skirt around the things they don't.
Look, I know everyone's using the same promotional tactics, but does that really make it okay?
Well, it's just a stopgap solution. As soon as I've made enough Mora, I'll stop. Things will be different next time. I promise.
Next time, huh? Yeah. Next time, you won't use your connections. Next time, you won't pay off the critics. Next time, you'll let Jillian play the lead.
Unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. If you make some money once, you'll want to do it again, then again. Slowly but surely, you turn your back on your dreams.
I won't turn my back on my dreams any longer, Director Mariyu. Never again.
Me neither.
I had dreams too. Once.
Huh. The plot here seems a little different from what the reviews said.
The protagonist wanted to return to the stage, so the puppets replaced all her parts with the latest ones available, built her a grand opera house, and summoned a huge audience.
And in the end, she forgot herself amidst the applause and cheers of her fellow puppets.
Hey, no spoilers! Huh? Wait, hang on, that's not even what's happening. The set has changed back to the one from the first act.
Oh, Archons, please let this work out.
No need to be so nervous, Director Mariyu. We only told you Lynette would be quitting the show to get you to make a decision. We wanted you to believe that this show would have to end after today, no matter what you decided. But in truth, I believe that if we choose our words carefully, there's no reason we can't get Maloney to come around and keep the show going.
You really thought this plan through. But I'm not upset about what you've done. What's worrying me now isn't how Maloney will react or whether the show will get cancelled. It's the audience. I've always thought the original script is better, but will it move them like I've always hoped? When Jillian does her curtain call, will they applaud her? What if people only came to see the show for Lynette? And because of the reviews, what if they don't really care about the show at all? It feels like I've been hiding inside my safe little castle for too long. And now I'm scared to go outside the walls and hear what people really think.
We're right here with you. We'll watch it to the end.
Wow. Okay, this ending is much better.
I love how they brought back the set from Act 1 and gave it a whole new meaning. What a fantastic twist.
Time for the curtain call. It's the moment of truth. The applause continue after I take off the mask. I could always leave my mask on. No one would ever know.
This is what fame looks like, when it's truly deserved.
Jillian, you were amazing! Syra was tearing up when you did your final solo dance. Well, so are you.
Really? I was so nervous. My legs felt like they turned to jelly.
What looked like an actor unsteady on her feet was in fact a poignant expression of the protagonist's frailty in her last moments. Or whatever.
Hey, Mario! What the heck was that? Why wasn't Lynette playing the lead?
Our articles are already going to press. You better have a good explanation for this.
It was my...
Hey now, it was all of our...
Hold on. The decision was mine, and mine alone. They had nothing to do with it. If you have any concerns, gentlemen, then please direct them to me.
Marry you? So it was you? Well then, I trust you'll have no objection to me pulling the plug on this production.
Director Mariu, Mr. Maloney, what on earth is going on? Why was Lynette not in the lead role? It took a lot of convincing from me for her to accept the role, and I had to turn down some big work opportunities to come and watch her performance today. You have some explaining to do.
Lenny, it was all his idea. Mariu, explain yourself.
Wait, Lenny, as a matter of fact, this was a piece of performance art. In this play, the masks and costumes serve to obscure the differences between characters, and by extension, the difference between human and machine. We took that idea to the next level with an actor swap, blurring the lines between one performer and the next. So it's in service of the ambitious artistic goals of the production.
What?
It's similar to deceiving the audience in a magic show. We employed this technique as a means of breaking the fourth wall. It allows the audience to more intuitively understand the cognitive dissonance felt by the protagonist as a machine trying to reconcile the notion of her humanity. The audience's experience mirrors the protagonist's own confusion and becomes part of the artistic performance itself.
Hold up. What is this nonsense?
Oh, I see. Well, bravo, Director Mariu. You even had me fooled.
That's probably more because you just don't really understand avant-garde art very well, Lenny.
Maybe so, maybe so. Well, perhaps it went over my head, but I'm sure our experts here saw the whole thing coming a mile away.
You must have worked it out by the end of the first half, surely. Mr. Amory, I just heard that you managed to write your review after just the first 2 acts.
Yes, you're right. Director Mariu and I are old friends. You should have said something. Then I could have played along even better.
Yes, well, to deceive the audience, you must first deceive your closest companions. I have to give credit to Lynette and her experience in performing magic. That's what inspired me to take my art to the next level.
Hmm? You mean your show was partly inspired by Lynette's background in magic? Well, in that case, I'll have to plug it to everyone I know.
Unfortunately, I think Mr. Maloney is going to cancel the show.
Cancel the show? Mr. Maloney, is this true?
While I accept that deceiving the audience in the manner you did certainly has artistic merit, this is not a magic show, and we don't want our audience demanding their money back.
A very valid criticism, and one that I humbly accept. If that happens, we're prepared to reimburse and apologize to any audience members who weren't satisfied with the experience. Plus, it looks like Jillian is better than me at delivering the excellence people want to see. I'm sure audiences will be very happy with the show if she's allowed to stay in the leading role.
Maloney, I believe there should still be time to tweak my article. From the look on Lynette's face, I think she's being sincere.
Oh, one other thing. We managed to get a meeting with Lady Farina earlier. All thanks to the Traveler's reputation, of course. Anyway, she agreed to write a review focusing on Jillian's performance and the quality of the show as a whole. She promised to give her honest opinion, and I'm sure today's audience will be discussing her performance too. There's sure to be a variety of opinions.
Oh, I mean, art at its finest, clearly. But I'll have to give it some thought before I decide exactly what to write.
Oh, of course. Always good to put some thought into these things. Especially now, with a growing range of voices out there. I imagine competition for readers becomes more fierce when everyone's discussing the topic.
Corentin, Amory, let's go.
Honestly, every second that passes, it's tempting me more and more. I don't know why I want to pull up so much more of an Arlecchino, actually. Because just Arlecchino would just be a side grade to Hootown. At least Linny would be something relatively new. Honestly, I do think Linny probably is better than Garnu. Although Garnu definitely can put out more damage, that is a can put out more damage. I think, realistically speaking, Linny is going to be dealing more damage than she does most of the time. I just wish this was the second phase. If this was the second phase and I could hear about who's actually on banner next patch, it'd be a way easier decision for me to make. It'd be a way easier decision. But I don't know. And I won't know. Like, if Nilu doesn't come in next patch, I think I could get him. I think I'll be alright with that. Like, I want Shenhe for Garnu. But at the same time, I have issues with Shenhe and that. Because if I were to do that, then my Garnu team would be this, but replace Venti with Shenhe. Which would kind of just be a weird team to me. Triple Cryo and one Hydra. Maybe actually replace Charlotte with Jean then, actually. Yeah, okay, that makes sense, actually. I mean, like, the thing is, I do want to keep Venti in this team. Because otherwise, I don't use Venti in anything. This is the one team I use him in, and even then, I don't ever run this team anyway. So I'd really like to keep him in this team. Also, the other thing is, of course, Freeze doesn't work against bosses, whereas Linny also works just fine against bosses. It's like, to me, I would be swapping Shenhe for Linny, basically. And I do have everything I would need to make a good Linny team. When I was signature weapon, I could make him perform just as well as my current Garnu does. Like, Kyle Garnier is better than I thought. I thought she had like 130 crit damage, 162. What happened? Yeah, Lenny would be a little bit harder to build than Garnier. I know his Ascension stat, I'd like to know. I wish it said that somewhere on the character's actual thing. But Lenny really is tempting me. He really is. Is there a way to look like a weapon archive? No. I wonder. I don't know if it would be worth saving for key. So I believe Key gives EM to the entire team, which I didn't actually know. I thought it just gave a fuckload of HP and EM based on your max HP. But apparently it gives EM to the whole team based on max HP. And that is actually potentially massive for Nilu. It gives more HP than Dockhand, and then on top of that it gives EM to a whole team. So it is like a pretty sizable upgrade. And I can even see that being good for like a team where Farina is doing Hyper Bloom as well, so it would be good on more than one character. Also Kirara. But I can't check that because it's not available in game. I mean, smart thing to do is just wait and see what leakers say. Leakers are currently saying, Vice Florend, Navia Siege. That's fucking ridiculous. There's no way the next patch is only Fontaine characters. That'd be fucking horrendous.
Thank you both so much. Without the two of you, who knows how much further down that cynical path I would have gone. I always told myself that once I'd made enough Mora, I'd get back to doing what I loved. But somewhere along the way, I started to lose sight of what that was. Just like those critics with their dishonest reviews, I became all about the trappings of success, at the expense of the art itself. You're right. Yes, I'm a very lucky man. Anyway, enough about my problems. What are we going to do about the threat letter that Lynette received? I've been looking into it a lot over the past couple of days.
Ah, yes, about that.
Lynette, do you have a moment?
Wait.
I'm sorry. Gina insisted on coming to see Lynette. I couldn't stop her.
Lynette, I'm sorry!
Yeah, me neither.
Wait, but...
Oh, do you mean when we ran into you at the Fleuve Sandra? And you said some mean things to me? As I recall, you were only trying to look out for your sister. It was just a few words spoken in anger. Don't worry. Whatever it was you said, I've already forgotten.
Oh, I see. Well, it sounds like Gina knows what she...
I understand that feeling of wanting to stand up for your family when they're being mistreated. Really, I do. But next time, maybe consider a different tactic? Something you can pull off more effectively, and without arousing suspicion.
Got it. Thank you, Lynette.
Why do I feel like I'm missing something here?
Hey, here you are. Great! Everyone's in one place. What do you think? It's group photo time. We have to commemorate the... Okay, everyone, we all have pretty awkward smiles on our faces and...
Oh, am I really not allowed to force a smile? I'll try, I suppose. I think I can manage.
Lynette, Traveler, come on! You two should be right in the middle. 3, 2, 1, smile!
Thank you both so much.
That letter? I was the one who wrote it.
What?
Gina? So it was you?
Director, it's time for... Oh, okay. Weird energy here.
I think we came at a bad time.
Lynette, Gina must have been worried sick about me. I'm sure even she wouldn't do something so stupid if she was in her right mind. I'm so sorry. I promise I'll make it up to you somehow.
Jillian, no! This is completely my fault, and I'm the one who should have to bear the consequences. I got the wrong end of the stick and completely misjudged Lynette.
Well, since I haven't actually suffered any losses, seeking redress could be difficult. Maybe we could just let this one slide?
Really? Are you sure?
After all, Gina wouldn't be the first person to ever misjudge me, right?
True. True.
In any case, I think we can all agree it was a misunderstanding and nothing more. No need to overcomplicate things.
But still, I was wrong to write that letter. I should own up to my actions, make it up to you in some way.
If that's what you really want, then how about helping out backstage?
Huh? Backstage?
The crew could always use an extra hand. Plus, it'll give your older sister a chance to keep an eye on you, and stop you getting into any more trouble.
Thank you, Lynette. Really, thank you so much.
They caught you crossing the border?
Is it? I'm so much more at home here in the audience. I get to sit on a comfy seat, and I don't have to activate my energy-consuming modes all the time. Mary said she's a very promising young actress, and she has natural chemistry with her older sister. In their capable hands, the show doesn't need me to attract an audience anymore. Phew. Freedom at last. Fame is more trouble than it's worth. I'd rather leave that side of things to my brother and the others. I'm happiest when I get to sit in a quiet place, watch them do their thing, and cheer them on. Yep, exactly like I'm doing now.
Right, honestly, I think I might just go to sleep. I don't know, I'm really tired. It's not because this is boring or anything. Like, I've been feeling it for the last like fucking half hour. I've been meaning to say it, but like I really like this hangout. I think maybe this route went on a little bit longer than it should have. But yeah, I really like this one. Definitely in the upper half of them, upper third, I'd say, as well, even. Really like that we got a bunch of other characters appearing. That's a bit ironic for what they're saying in this last one. Yeah, it was really good. I know, I'm just fucking depressed. Oh fuck. Oh yeah, Star Rail did the thing where like you can see your yearly stats. It says like you ate 2 consumables. So I don't use consumables in Star Rail ever. This is hilarious. Oh dear. There is one thing I want to do quickly though.
Where do you want to go next? If you'd like to see Leroy's
Don't tell me I
tourist
like an
spots,
opportunity to take a
I
photo.
have a few references. Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where
Something
are
which would be
those?
really cool if they did in future. As cringe as Fortnite is, the live event concept is kind of cool. Go on. Or if we had some live events, set me up for FPS in the future or something. That'd be awesome. I need to tend to my dragons. Yeah.
Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember.
Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of questions I have about Linny's kit. I haven't actually. It's been a while since I actually looked over his kit, so I should do that again. More than 60% HP. Okay. Okay, neat. Prop surplus stacks are basically permanent. Okay, so after 4 seconds, it will fire a shot. Or does it fire a shot if you fire another arrow? And the strike does a lot of damage. Okay. I feel like he will work really well with Bennett. Because with Bennett, Bennett will keep you above 60% HP. And that means that you always fire off a hat. Which should mean every single shot gets you a stack, and every single shot also gets you pyrotechnic strike. Just Sad's gonna crash my phone, and I'm not gonna get my reward for watching Sad track and veil. Oh, it worked. Great. Is that the skill damage? The first thing is the skill damage. Okay. Only a cost of 60, so he does not need, like, any ER. I don't think. So from what I can tell, his rotation should be fire these off until you get 5 stacks. So you then use this, and then use a burst, and then repeat. Seems about right. And this seems... I assume this is just a final damage multiplier. So it's just straight up double damage to enemies affected by pyro. He's tempting. I hate this team. Why?
Our bond is strong. Nice and spicy.
Okay.
Lightning terrified. I'm going in. You're toast. Out of the frying pan.
Let's get this show on the road.
Okay. Continue. It really should just continue spawning enemies until you just manually end it. It really should just work that way.
Stand with me. Out of my way. Teamwork is dreamwork. Let's eat this. Nice and spicy.
Here comes the finale. And voila!
I'm going in.
This main's really finicky.
I'll settle this. Everybody stand back. You're toast.
A round of applause.
Right, around 60k damage to right there. Because I've heard you don't want to use 4-piece Marasho say. You want to do 2-piece, and then either Pyro or Attack Percent. Also, I think, unlike other Fontaine characters, you actually don't want to build them for HP. There's no part of the skill which scales on HP. The only part which does is the HP of the hat, but you actually want the hat to have low health, so that it will get destroyed, don't you, actually? Right. But yeah, again, right here, caveats to keep in mind, he does have a really good weapon on, his best weapon. Hot damn, so are we getting a 40... No, we're getting a 32% attack buff from that. $532. It's level 80. 532. Okay, so he does have a good amount of base attack. Yeah, so although he does have a weapon, he actually has a suboptimal artifact set, where the actual stats themselves are pretty good. I mean, considering the stats I have on Garnu, I could replicate this. It's going to depend on what his ascension stat is, though. Obviously, Linny is like the one character in the game which probably wants 0 EM. Just straight up none. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, I have to eat my dinner. But he is very tempting. I think the problem I'm having with him isn't him, I think it's the other characters. Because, like, I'll be honest, I don't like Bennett Xiangling. I hate it. It doesn't feel good to me most of the time. Circle Impact is not great.
Benny's adventure team, assemble!
Right, if I were to make Linny, here's what my Linny team would be. So Hu Tao's a stand-in for Linny.
Gonna be epic.
All right.
This.
Let's head off.
This is what it would probably be. I think I would forego Zhang Ling. Thanks to having John Lee in, and because Linny is mostly a ranged character, there's no pressure to stay in Circle Impact, because John Lee will stop us from... We can't be knocked out of it, and because we're ranged, we can willingly stay inside it. So that way, I feel like this is actually a really good way to just have an endless flurry of arrows from Linny. And then Kazuha, although Linny does lose 20% of that damage bonus from not having Zhang Ling, Kazuha more than makes up for that, because Kazuha's buff will absolutely give more value than that. Not to mention Kazuha then also will make up for some of Zhang Ling's lost damage. I definitely think Zhang Ling does more damage than Kazuha, but Kazuha's not super far behind, I feel like. So I think this would be a decent team, and I think it would be a team I would be okay with running. So the problem with Circle Impact is when enemies move around all the fucking time. But one question is, though, is like, do I have the weapons for Linny? That is very important.
May knowledge guide you. Let's go get...
Who Doesn't Hunt is a pretty good bow. And that's all I have. He doesn't want Ibis Piercer. Yeah, so Who Doesn't Hunt would have to do, or... Always with Craftable, which is best on Freeze Garnu. It's a prototype Crescent. I think its prototype Crescent is about hitting the headshot. Headshots in Genshin are really fucking inconsistent. So I don't like the idea of prototype Crescent. Especially on a pyro character that can't freeze enemies in place for you. That would be really good, especially since you can give up to maximum refinement because it's a craftable. So that can give a lot of attack. And it is one crit every 10 seconds. Awful. Oh! Okay. That's definitely... That gives more attack percent as well. Slightly less space attack. This gives EM. If it was more than 8 seconds, that would be a solid choice, I think, but it isn't, so... Yeah. Okay, there's definitely some solid choices for him. Alright, so if I wanted to get him... That's the other thing, I could also just slap my Hu-Tao artifact set onto him. But not quite. But it wouldn't be too hard for me to make him work. I'm pretty sure I have a talent books for him. Do I have a Mora? I spent a lot of Mora today. As in 4 million Mora. Right.
Boats are made for transferring commodities back and forth. And those that come across Liyue tend to stay a while. So it is where many things come to settle. Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory?
There's still a lot of room for improvement with this machine.
Where do you want to go next? If you'd like to see Liyue's tourist spots, I have a few references. Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory?
There's still a lot of room for improvement with this machine.
Every journey has its final day. Don't rush.
There's still a lot of room for improvement with this machine.
room for improvement with this machine.
Where do you want to go next? If you'd like to see Liyue's tourist spots, I have a few references.
There's still a lot of room for improvement with this machine.
Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory?
There's still a lot of room for improvement with this machine. There's still a lot of room for improvement with this machine.
Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory?
Improvement with this machine. There's still a lot of room for improvement with this machine.
Boats are made for transferring commodities back and forth. And those that come across Liyue tend to stay a while. So it is where many things come to settle.
There's still a lot of room for improvement with this machine.
Every journey has its final day. Don't rush.
There's still a lot of room for improvement with this machine.
Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory?
There's still a lot of room for improvement with this machine. There's still a lot of room for improvement with this machine.
Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory?
There's still a lot of room for improvement with this machine.
Where do you want to go next? If you'd like to see Liyue's tourist spots, I have a few references. Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory?
There's still a lot of room for improvement with this machine. Improvement with this machine.
Every journey has its final day. Don't rush. Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory?
There's still a lot of room for improvement with this machine.
Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory?
There's still a lot of room for improvement with this machine. There's still a lot of room for improvement with this machine.
Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory?
There's still a lot of room for improvement with this machine.
Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory?
There's still a lot of room for improvement with this machine.
Boats are made for transferring commodities back and forth. And those that come across Liyue tend to stay a while. So it is where many things come to settle. Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory?
There's still a lot of room for improvement with this machine.
Where do you want to go next? If you'd like to see Liyue's tourist spots, I have a few references.
There's still a lot of room for improvement with this machine.
Every journey has its final day. Don't rush.
There's still a lot of room for improvement with this machine.
Boats are made for transferring commodities back and forth, and those that come across Liyue tend to stay a while. So it is where many things come to settle. Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory? Every journey has its final day. Don't rush. Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory?
There's still a lot of room for improvement with this machine.
Where do you want to go next? If you'd like to see Liyue's tourist spots, I have a few references.
There's still a lot of room for improvement with this machine.
Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory?
There's still a lot of room for improvement with this machine.
Every journey has its final day. Don't rush. Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory? Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory? Boats are made for transferring commodities back and forth. And those that come across Liyue tend to stay a while. So it is where many things come to settle.
There's still a lot of room for improvement with this machine.
Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory?
There's still a lot of room for improvement.
Every journey has its final day. Don't rush.
There's still a lot of room for improvement with this machine.
Boats are made for transferring commodities back and forth. And those that come across Liyue tend to stay a while. So it is where many things come to settle. Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory?
With this machine.
Where do you want to go next? If you'd like to see Liyue's tourist spots, I have a few references.
There's still a lot of room for improvement with this machine.
Every journey has its final day. Don't rush.
There's still a lot of room for improvement with this
Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory?
There's still a lot of room for improvement with this machine. There's still a lot of room for improvement with this machine.
Where do you want to go next? If you'd like to see Liyue's tourist spots, I have a few references. Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory? Boats are made for transferring commodities back and forth. And those that come across Liyue tend to stay a while. So it is where many things come to settle. Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory?
With this machine.
Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory?
There's still a lot of room for improvement with this machine.
Every journey has its final day. Don't rush. Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory?
There's still a lot of room for improvement with this machine.
Boats are made for transferring commodities back and forth. And those that come across Liyue tend to stay a while. So it is where many things come to settle.
There's still a lot of room for improvement with this machine.
Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory?
There's still a lot of room for improvement with this machine. There's still a lot of room for
Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory?
There's still a lot of room for improvement with this machine.
Where do you want to go next? If you'd like to see Liyue's tourist spots, I have a few references.
Okay. If I got Linny, I'm now at what, 34 pity, right? Okay. 34 pity. So it is at most. Why am I struggling so bad to do this maths? 56. At most 56 of these. Which would leave me with. My brain hurts. That would leave me with 52 wishes. Plus Stargazer. If I get him, I would no longer have my necessarily guaranteed Nilu as well. There's another Lina. I'll take more time to think about it. Okay, there was just one last thing I wanted to do. And then I think I'm going to end stream. I don't feel like doing Shiori's. The fact that Shiori's quest has been out this long and I haven't heard a single thing about it, I've never seen anyone mention it, I completely forgot it even existed. That kind of tells me. I mean, it's probably not just indicative of the quest quality, but also, you know, the hype around Shiori. Now, unfortunately, by the time she came out, no one gave a shit. And I was fucking simping about her to my friends. I was sending my friend who knows nothing about Genshin, fucking hates anime. I was sending him clips of Shiori being like, oh my god, I wish you would step on me. And then Shiori's banner drops, and I'm like, I don't care. So we'll do Shiori's story quest at some point, but not this stream. Because my fucking back pain, which I've had for like probably best part of a week now, and I've completely lost all perception of time at this point. I've probably had it for like a week. I think it's getting worse. I just looked up the NHS website and it says, don't stay in bed for extended periods of time.
I didn't like that.
Oh.
Was I using it
I'm
wrong?
in bed like
Maybe
12 hours a day.
I just...
Probably more than that. The only time when I'm not in bed is when I'm
Clearly,
going downstairs to go get food.
To iron out. I'll have to let Fremine know.
For the last month, I've probably spent like 70% of the total of the last month in bed.
Let's see, which card...
Right. What I wanted to do was do this.
Alright. So, we're looking for Bonnie's owner? There's 20 cards in total, numbered 1 to 20. So there's only a 1 in 5 chance of drawing less than a 5. I should also mention, this time the cutoff was 5, but I just set that to wherever I feel like. To put it in perspective, I said I'd only do the show if I drew a 1. Fate can be pretty sneaky sometimes.
Oh, right, it just goes to that. Okay, cool. Right, so that was a good one. And now I'm feeling even more temptation to get Lynn. According to Game 8, I hear a lot of bad things about Game 8. Game 8 says the best weapon I could get from would be this. "44 base attack is a lot. Yeah, that is quite a lot of base attack. Do I have a comparison for it? It's probably 565. Yes, it's 565 base attack. Its main competition would be Rio doesn't hunt. I didn't actually check where its ascension stat is. I need to stop doing it. IT Game released the last part of his Minecraft playthrough, which is probably the best Minecraft playthrough ever. Is amazing. Yes, according to Game 8, the reason why I'm questioning this is because they have best artifact says Mao Shosei Hunter. The thing is, Mao Shosei Hunter, the crit rate bonus is snapshotted at the moment. The Malkin Hat snapshots its stats the moment you fire the arrow, which basically means that Mao Shosei doesn't work very well in Linny, actually, from what I've heard. Which is why I don't want to go for it. Which is unfortunate, because like 36 crit rate is massive. I mean, probably still could make it work. I would like for that as well, because I need to get the other artifact from that domain as well for other characters. They say his best weapons are 3 to 5 stars, and then the Scion. But the Scion there only seems good for boss battles, otherwise it doesn't seem particularly great, otherwise it seems like a worse if it doesn't hunt. And then they put Song of Stillness on. Crit raise his ascension stat, okay. That's good to know, so then the thing is, even with crit rate ascension stat, I still actually like going for crit rate as a weapon, because then if crit rate's your ascension stat and you put on a crit rate weapon, that's it. You've got your crit rate, basically. Then all you need is like a single crit rate substat, and that's it, you're good. I also took some look at Linny team comps. I do think my team comp I suggested would be good. I didn't see anyone suggest my team comp, but I did suggest people say Linny, Daya, Bennett, Kazuha, which
Good roll.
is interesting.
All right, maybe I'll take one more day off and knock out the rest of the work once I'm feeling up to it.
I get Day would be Day as a pyro character, so she would give the damage bonus. But would that damage bonus be greater than John Lee's attack buff and res shred? Obviously, Daya doesn't actually deal a whole lot of damage to herself, and her interruption resistance is not as good as John Lee's shield. So I think my idea of him would work. So I'm gonna enter